Hey guys, this is Travis P11. Welcome back to the channel. So if you're in the market for rifle chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor and you don't want to break the bank, why don't you stay tuned? I might just have the rifle you're looking for. Alright, so for the last about 4 months here, I've been trying to figure out which 6.5 Creedmoor rifle I wanted to go with. I knew that 6.5 was a chamber that I wanted to use, but I just was not sure exactly which way to go. The problem you run into, and it's definitely a good problem to have, is that between around $250 to $300 up to about $550, you have some very solid offerings that are out there. There's some options from Howa that you can go with. You've got a Ruger American Ranch rifle. We've got the Mossberg. We've also got Thompson Center. So there's lots of options out there for you. So do some research, and obviously you want to go along with the package that's going to work best for you. I decided to go more on the lower end of the mid-price range. When I looked at some of the more expensive rifles, and for what I want, which is just simply a decent deer rifle for a January deer hunt or just deer season in general, not going to be doing any major precision shooting out to 1,200 yards or anything like that, I decided to go ahead and go with the Mossber Patriot. I paid around $350 for this rifle, scope included. The scope itself is really nothing too fancy. It's just a kind of an off-brand, but I think for what I'm going to be looking at, which is around 300 yards or less, it should do the job just fine. If I have any problems with the scope when we're sighting it in, then we'll go ahead and swap out the scope and put something different up on the top. So let's just run through the specifications on the rifle real quick, and then we'll take a look at it. Alright, so the rifle is manufactured in the USA by Mossberg. The family is the Patriot series. It is a bolt-action rifle. The finish is a matte blue finish. The stock or frame is a synthetic stock. It's a classic style stock. The weight of the rifle is 7.5 pounds. The caliber is 6.5 Creedmoor. Capacity is 4+1. Your barrel length is 22 inches. Your overall length is 42.75 inches. Your rate of twist is 1 in 8. You do get the Weaver style base included when you buy the rifle. You also have a fluted barrel and a spiral fluted bolt, which we'll take a little more of an in-depth look at here in just a moment. And you also get a 3 to 9x40 power dead ringer scope, which is just kind of a generic scope. I've seen this scope manufactured by other brands before, and that's just what it comes with. Definitely very happy with what I saw. My first bolt-action rifle that I ever bought for deer hunting was actually an older Mossberg with the synthetic stock that I bought back in the early 2000s. I've only been hunting deer for about, maybe 15 years now at the most, and that's it. And the Patriot series definitely reminds me of that older model. I can't remember if it was a VT something or another. It's been a while because I did unfortunately sell it. So in the box you do get the rifle, you do get the scope. Supposedly it's bore sighted. I'm not 100% sure, but most people have said it takes about 3 to 4 shots to get it zero to where you need it. But again, I know it's not a high quality optic, but if it does a job, if it holds zero, it'll be fine for the deer hunt. Otherwise, I do plan on upgrading the glass after the season with something a little bit different. So we'll just put the rifle off to the side for now. Okay, also included in the box, the rifle did come properly packaged. Everything was out of the way so that you wouldn't have to worry about scuffs and stuff like that. It did have the usual safety tags that come with it. You do get a Mossberg sticker that comes along with it also. I will be taking the sticker off the stock when I get it. As for the warranty on it, let me look that up real quick and I'll tell you guys here in just a sec. Okay, so the rifle does come with a 2-year warranty. I just went ahead and double checked that to make sure. You do have your firearms responsibility in the home packet. Again, firearm safety depends on you, and also joining the NRA if that's the way that you want to go. So they give you a decent amount of literature to get you going, and I'm more familiar with Mossberg manuals after owning several of their firearms. And why was it exactly that I bought this model? Why not for $100 more didn't I go with the Howa, or maybe for 50 or 75 bucks less did I not go with the Thompson Compass? I just didn't really seem to notice a whole lot of difference between the low end and the higher end, the way that the actions feel. I had a chance to run the action on one of the Howa packages that came with the scope, and I don't know, it just didn't really feel like I was gaining a whole lot. And we'll talk about the reviews here in just a second when I decided to go with the Mossberg instead. And I know Howa makes fantastic rifles, but let's get this on the gun stand and we'll talk about the rationale behind buying it and checking out some of the features. So like I was saying, this is kind of my gateway rifle into 6.5 Creedmoor. I've only shot it one other time, and I think it's going to be a wonderful caliber for harvesting deer. When it comes down to the overall features, there's just a lot that all these rifles have in common. All the models I were looking at had synthetic stocks. Most of them had box magazines. They had actions that were fairly smooth. There were some differences in the way that the safety was set up and so on. And just something about the Mossberg, it just kind of seemed like the nice all-around for the price rifle to go with. It had the features that I wanted, and I think it's going to work. Now, when it comes to reviews, I'm not the kind of person that tries to buy a product just solely based on the reviews. I try to do some research. I'll read up on it a little bit, look at the materials the rifle's made out of. I'll look at the rifling. I'll do what I can to investigate it as much as I can before I buy it. Overwhelmingly, the reviews on this rifle were positive. I found one-star review on the rifle. There was a person that bought it, and they were just not happy with it. They tried several different types of ammo, several different scopes, and they could not get it to group well. Sent it back to Mossberg, and Mossberg made it right for them. So going off that rationale, I decided to go ahead and buy it. Now, would I recommend this to you? You know, I don't know. You do your research. You decide what you want to do. I'm going to have the range test happening here soon. We're about to get a winter storm tonight. I was going to go to the range, but it is not going to happen. It will happen hopefully in a couple days or early next week. And we can see what kind of thing this is going to, what kind of group we're going to get with the scope that's included. And again, if there's problems with the scope, we'll swap it out. So overall, I just seemed to offer what I wanted for the price that I was willing to pay. So let's just kind of take a look back to front. Okay, what are you going to get when you go along with this rifle? Well, starting with the stock itself, it is a synthetic material. It does feel fairly rigid. It does feel high quality, although the rifle itself is not incredibly heavy. It really does feel lighter than 7.5 pounds. You've got a nice rubber pad here on the end of the stock. You do have steel or aluminum mounting points for your sling, which is really nice. They're not plastic. Okay, you've got a nice, that'll absorb some of the recoil. A little bit of texturing going on here too. You do actually have an adjustable trigger. I'll go ahead and work the bolt for you here in just a second and show you how that works. You can adjust it, which is nice. It's a lightning trigger, I believe is what they call it. One problem that some guys have with it is they're not a big fan of the safety lever, which is located up here on the top. A lot of guys like a Tang style safety. For me, it doesn't really matter. I've actually had Tang safeties freeze on me before when I'm out in the sleet and out in the muck. So I do prefer a lever style, which has got a little more pull to it, I think, to engage it and disengage it. I don't know. I've just had better luck with this style. You do have the fluting on the bolt, which I really do like. You've got your Weaver style mounts, okay? And like I said, we can always try a different scope on there if we need to, but this is just a 3 to 9 by 40. For what I need, you know, 300 yards or less, it should work. Not doing any long distance competitions with it at all. I believe we've got the 5R rifling, and the barrel itself, let's get a better angle here. Okay, the barrel itself does have that fluting. It does have the cuts in the barrel to lighten it up a little bit, which is really cool. So just a little tour from the back to the front real quick. So you do have a nice raised cheek piece or comb on the stock, which will help you get a better cheek weld on the rifle when you're holding it. It is not ambidextrous. It is more biased towards the right-hand shooter, as is the majority of this rifle. So a little bit of knurling right there on the lever, which is nice. Okay, makes it easy to grip. So it's, you know, again, it's just very simple, to the point, and I like the simplicity of it. It's kind of rifle where you can kind of take it out to the brush if you need to. You don't really have to worry about it so much. It's okay if it gets banged around a little bit. Alright, so for the bolt itself, let's go ahead and open up the action and obviously make sure that we're clear. Okay, we'll go ahead and take out the box magazine that comes with it. Okay, we are clearing the chamber. Again, the action itself is fine for what it is. It's not buttery smooth, but I've also not cleaned this rifle. There's no oil in the chamber whatsoever. Magazine, it's got some fibers in it. It almost feels like a fiber reinforced polycarbonate, some sort of a polymer, and I don't think it feels too flimsy. It's kind of a love it or hate it box magazine. Replacement magazines are between $30 and $35 online, so that's pretty much par for the course. Obviously, I wish it was metal, but there's going to be a few places they're going to cut some corners to save money, and the magazine is one of those places. So we'll go ahead and put that back in there. And again, the bolts, you know, nice and smooth. There's no problems operating it at all. Okay, you got your safety. Not a quiet safety, it's going to be noisy. That could obviously be an issue. And dry fire, it was really the trigger that sold me in the store itself, just how smooth and how light it was. It can adjust between 2 and 7 pounds. I believe it's at its lightest setting out of the box, 2 pounds, just a dry fire. No creep whatsoever. It just, you put your finger on the blade, a little more tension, boom, it's going to go. Another complaint that some people had is your bolt release, which is right back here. You've got this little like gas pedal is what they call it. So let's go ahead and take the bolt out and we'll take a look at that. You just go ahead and push your button right here. Bolt comes right out, no problems. It is a bit, I could see how that might get caught on something. It could get pressed up against something, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, if it shoots a nice 1-inch group at 100 yards, we'll take it out to 100, 200, maybe 300 yards, see what it does. I can live with that. Yeah, the bolt itself, pretty typical of the Mossberg design, if you're familiar with their bolts at all. Looks like it'd be fairly easy to disassemble and clean, should not be a problem. Really looks a lot like the old Remington 710 bolt that I had back in the day on my 243. Get your lugs up on the front there. So really, I mean, it's not bad. They do have a few little neat features and you know, a few little design cues that definitely enhance the rifle, that keep it at the price it is. And so like I said, I paid $349 for it, which was not bad. That's pretty much par for the course. You might be able to get it for a little bit less, maybe 20 or 30 bucks less if you go without the scope, and so that's going to be another option for you too. You know, if you've already got optics sitting around, I'd say go ahead and do so. Go without the scope and put your own on there. Save a little bit of money, or maybe take the scope and sell it, whatever works for you. And for ammo, we're going to be breaking it in with some Hornady match, 140 ELD tip or ELD bullet match ammo. Just want to see what it can do. As for actually hunting, you know, I'll have to take it back in and zero it again with my hunting ammunition. I'm planning on shooting Remington Core Locked or Hornady Super Performance ammo, either one of the two. But this kind of seems like defeating the purpose. Awesome match grade ammunition with subpar optics, but again, out of the box, this is what a lot of guys are going to do, or gals. And it's just kind of nice to see, you know, how well these two go together. If I've got a nice 1-inch group and I've got a decent package deal that's ready to go for deer season. So that is it, guys. That is the introduction to my new deer rifle for the January deer hunt. This might be the new deer rifle in general that we're going to use. So it is the Mossber Patriot. That is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. And if I had mentioned it before, I believe we do have a 22-inch barrel. Maybe it was 24-inch. Can't remember what I said exactly. But either way, decent little rifle, good little package you can go along with. 350 bucks out the door. So guys, that is it. I want to thank you for joining me today. Please like or subscribe. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on gunchannels.com or guntube.org. And you can follow my podcast called Caliber Corner, which we do Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Central Time over on gunchannels.com. Otherwise, guys, that is it. So get out there, get yourself ready for that winter hunt if you can do so in January. And in the meantime, guys, I want you to have fun. I want you to be safe. And as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.